What's going on, everybody? It's Hot Corner Baseball here. I'm Ben Bogosian, and I'm joined by.
Already Austin.
And today we're doing a little bit of an all-star ballot comparison in a way. Obviously, you guys have never seen our all-star ballots. We filled out a lot together, and we like to argue about it. And we thought it'd be a good video to talk about, so you could see our perspectives and our thoughts about what the all-star game should be right now, and then you could just have some discussions on our differences. And I think we'll have a few more videos like this just because obviously the All-Star game's in about a month, so it's going to change. But other than that, let's get right into it. So, Brody, you want to start it off here?
For the American League, first base, I got my man Luke Voigt. So my case for Luke Voigt, I second in line for me is C.J. Cron from the Twins.
Okay, well, before you go, I'll say I have CJ Crone starting as my AL first baseman, so we
Yeah.
already have a disagreement, but you can talk.
All right, so C.J. Cron, he's had all the contributors around him. Polanco, now Nelson Cruz on a tear right now, 4 home runs in the last week.
Cruz has been out for a while though.
Cruz just joining that lineup is going to make him more dangerous. What I'm trying to say though, by the All-Star game, Voigt, his numbers are going to go up. You have Judge Stanton coming back. Stanton's killing it right now in Tampa. If that production comes back in the lineup, Luke will be right in between Judge and Stanton. They're not going to be able to pitch around him like they are right now. I think the production is going to keep going up from what it is right now. The numbers still they're All-Star level. You're hitting 265. You can keep that up with 16 home runs, 44 RBIs. So I think that's All-Star level for me. Even going to get better.
Okay, yeah. And before I say Luke Voigt's really good. I think he would deserve the All-Star game. He could possibly deserve it if he I have nothing against Luke Voigt. I just think CJ Crone, they have very similar stats. Crone hit his 15th home run today. He has a little bit higher of an average, similar on-base percentages. They're both really good players. I just think that the reason Crone should get it is because the Twins have been the possibly the best team in the MLB, and there's a case for it at least. And they've definitely been the biggest surprise of the 2019 season. So I think they don't have enough representation in the All-Star game, and that's why I think Crone should pitch, I think.
All right.
So, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
50-50 with that.
So I think first base, no debate. The dude's been killing it this year. Kind of out of nowhere is Josh Bell from the Pirates.
Yeah, Josh Bell for me as well.
He's
There's really no debate.
he,
He hit his
he, had,
19th homer too.
he had his 60th RBI the other night. Him, Musgrove, and Vasquez are keeping that team somewhat alive.
Yeah,
That's a team going into the season. You're like they might tear it up, but I don't know. With Bell playing this way, you getting Polanco, Marte heating up, Sterling Marte. It's a definitely an all-star.
yeah. There's nobody else that should be there. Like Rizzo's having a good season. Freddie Freeman's having a good season as usual, but they don't compare stat wise. They don't compare to Bell.
Yep.
So I think we can move on to second base for the AL.
Who do you have at second base?
So I have Brandon Lowe.
Brandon Love.
What about you?
I got Tommy LaStella from the A's. I'll give you the reason why right now. So, like Josh Bell, him and Trout have been carrying this entire season. Otani coming back you could see by the
He's
stats,
been doing well.
has opened up the entire lineup.
Yeah.
Trout producing at higher pace right now, which is hard to say. That dude's a freak. But LaStella, 339 ribbies, 15 home runs for a guy that was just on the Braves, like a role player. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's the guy that deserves that spot.
Yeah,
With Lowe, he's in a lineup with these. They are out with Meadows, Yandy Diaz, all these dudes. But LaStella, he does have the best player in the game with him. But besides that, who does he have?
yeah. I will say LaStella is having a shocking season. For the Cubs and Braves, he was just a role player. Like at best, bench bat. But all of a sudden he's having this power surge. He's hit 15 home runs. It doesn't really make sense to me. Possibly it could be the ballpark because it's not too hard to hit home runs to right field at Angel Stadium. And he's terrible against lefties though. That's one thing about him that really kind of knocked it down for me is that he's hitting around 240 I think this year against lefties, and obviously he has a solid average either way. But I just think that he's really kind of though he's having a breakout season, I don't think it's something that can be sustained throughout the whole year. And as far as Lowe, um, he's a rookie. That's one thing that kind of gives him an advantage for me is that like this is his first season. He's doing all this in his first season. Another thing is his utility, like his ability to play so many different positions. He can play all positions around the infield, even first base. He's naturally a second baseman, so he really reminds me of Zobrist down in Tampa Bay. And then if we're going by wins above replacement, which I know is not a perfect stat, not a perfect way, like the only thing that evaluates players, but if we're going by it, or at least using it as a factor, this is from Baseball Reference. He has a 2.6 wins above replacement compared to Listella's 1.6. So I
Yeah,
think that kind of,
just
and I think that's really a result of his ability to play defense and his versatility. But still, I mean, it's a big difference.
So second base, I know you're a D-backs fan. I could see where you could possibly go at this pick, but I really do not think you could take away from Moustakas. He's gotten better since he left the Royals. With now he's benefiting from Miller Park, but the dude's hitting 280, 21 home runs, 21 home. That's top 3 in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
And OPS is above average. I just don't think Marte's had a great season, if that's where you're going with it. But yeah. Marte's been great, but Moustakas he's the silent killer. He just gets the job done. You just don't expect him to come.
Yeah, I did pick Marte, and it's kind of just because I'm a D-backs fan. I think the bias kind of plays into it to me. They're both having great seasons. I totally agree. Moustakas has been insane this season. They moved him to second base, and I was a little bit confused. And it was really confusing for him because he hadn't really signed all offseason until the very end. But man, he's been killing it. Yeah, I think there's a really strong case for Moustakas as well. The reason I chose Marte is just because I'm a D-backs fan, but also the fact that
he's been killing it.
He's been killing it. But his improvement from last year to this year is insane. He's on pace for an above. I said I didn't want to use his only stat, but wins above replacement. He's on pace for an above 5-win season. He plays good defense. We actually moved him to center field this year because we lost Pollock. So, like his ability to be versatile for move around. He's played short, second, center for us this year. He's hitting. I mean, he has more RBIs, I believe. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was somebody else. But Marte has 17 homers and pretty much the leadoff spot all season. So, it's again, I see the case for Moustakas, and I kind of agree that he may deserve it a little bit more right now just because he's been hot. But I think Marte's consistency over the whole season out of the leadoff spot and his versatility may give him an edge.
I see that. Hey, it's a D-back, and I understand how you feel about that. So AL third base, my boy Alex Bregman. So Bregman this year has been improving. He has been tired. Hitting 270. I would like to see that average bump up. But, with all these injuries to Altuve, to Springer, to Correa, and it's just been him just constantly producing. And his OPS is pretty great. And then it just kind of shows that he's been just every year just getting better and better. His power has been going up. His average is dipping down a little bit right now, but obviously he could get that up to around 2.
I think he'll get it up as well.
95, and I just don't think third base is a great spot in the AL right now. Hunter Dozier has been surprising. I see progression coming. I mean, he has nothing to play for, so Bregman's in the perfect spot in the AL third base.
Yeah, I have Bregman as well. Excuse me. I just think like a lot of what Brody just said. He's been amazing since he got called up, second pick out of LSU. Yeah, he's just putting up numbers that we haven't seen in a while since in the AL. There's been some good third basemen in the AL for sure. Beltre, but a lot of Machado, yes. But Bregman's really just like solidified his spot now as the best third baseman in the AL. And I think on that point of the average, I think it probably will rise when players like Correa get back. And there's been a lot of injuries, so he's like really having to carry that offense and provide a lot of the power, a lot of the doubles, home runs. So I think once he gets some more protection in the lineup, which he will have a lot when everybody gets healthy, he'll definitely get his average up. He's a great player, so he just built off of last year. Third baseman NL, I don't think there has to be much discussion. Arenado.
Nolan Arenado.
Yeah,
There,
he's awesome.
I need to talk about that. That boy's the fourth best player in the MLB.
Fourth?
Fourth. Hey, we'll get it. Hey, we'll get a discussion
He's the second
about
best
that.
player in MLB,
Hey,
but we'll move
we'll
on. He's the
talk about
second
this
best
different.
player, but
That's
we'll
a
talk about
video.
that
All right.
second or third. All right, shortstop. I have Jorge Polanco. What about you?
That this dude, just like Josh Bell, he was suspended for
Yeah,
use of PEDs, and he's just been he's in my MVP run right now. Honestly, hitting 340, leading the AL in average, 10 home runs, solid power, and around 40 RBIs. That's just AL shortstop. Mundesi's there. I think he strikes out a little too much for my liking in the All-Star game. Steals a ton of bases, but Polanco in that killer lineup, I think he's the All-Star second base.
Polanco. Yep, I totally agree. Yeah, he leads the he. I was looking around and I was kind of deciding between myself. Like, I think if Correa had stayed healthy, he would definitely be the one that would lead it because he was
Yeah.
having a fantastic season before he got injured. He should be back in a couple of weeks. But those Bogarts, who's also having a really good season, having a really good great season at lineup, kind of keeping him going a little bit as the Red Sox have struggled. But I do agree, you got to go with Polanco as the All-Star in the AL. He leads all AL shortstops with wins above replacement, average. Like a lot of the stuff Brody had just said, I think he just deserves it. And he's on the Twins, who deserve a lot of representation for their season so far.
Yeah. All right, so shortstop in the NL. So this has changed a lot for me lately. Baez being in a slump last month, but I think it goes back to Baez. It was Story for a short time, but I think Baez deserves it. Even the home run yesterday, that was an insane shot, and it just Javier Baez 300 average, and that's not one of his callings or anything. His hitting's been better this year than ever, and hitting 17 bombs, 46 RBIs. It's a solid season, and then he does strike out. He has that with him. He'll have some.
He's always struck out. But the thing is, in the past, he would strike out and not put the bat on the ball all the time, so he'd be hitting around 230. But now, from last season to this season, he's hitting over 300, or is he hitting 300 right now?
He's hitting around. He's like 298, 300.
Okay, well, he was over 300 a few days ago.
Yeah.
I do have bias as well. Were you done?
Now? I mean, there's not really much to make there. I feel like Story's a bigger strikeout issue person, and Force feels that helps a lot of power, and I feel like Baez has shown that power without the.
Oh yeah. I had bias too. He had an MVP like season last year, and I didn't totally buy in yet because he'd struggled in years past. He was that guy where he was a top prospect, came up and did well, and then he really struggled for a long time. Addison Russell had the shortstop job. He's battling his Zobrist around the infield, but he's really
mentioned his glove like that. That's him in the field could be as good as his bat. Like that's
his fielding is. I mean, we've all seen the highlights. He's great
to have ruling your shortstop in an All-Star game.
Yeah, I think he's his popularity. He's already probably going to get votes. I mean, even if he wasn't having as great of a season, he'd probably get votes just because he's really one of the most popular players in the league. But the stats back it up. He's totally built off last season, and he's really taken over he's really made a case for himself being the X factor in that Cubs lineup, as people like Rizzo and Bryant did struggle at the beginning of the year.
Yep. We'll go catcher next. I feel like the AL, there's no outside. I mean,
Gary Sanchez.
Mitch Garver's been playing well. Jason Castro's been hitting well.
Yeah, they have.
Platoon action. I just don't feel like there's anyone contending with Sanchez. Sanchez has got 20 home runs in 47 games, best average per home run in the game.
Yeah.
That's coming from a catcher who's behind the plate each and every year. So his defense has been ridiculed for the last 2 seasons, but this year silently been better. He hasn't been great in any cases, but better than last year. He was in the 100s in average last year.
Oh, yeah.
This year in the he's around 270. That is a jump. If he continues that with Judge and Stanton coming back, that's going to be scary.
This kid will go. He'll get too excited.
Yeah,
Brody will get a little too excited once Judge and Stanton get back. But no, I totally agree with the Sanchez. I have him as well. Yeah, he's like that stat you said about, I think it was like 47 or 49 games. He's hit 20 home runs. I mean, that's insane in itself. But the even crazier thing is that's at a better rate than did in his rookie season. You know, that rookie season where he hit 20 home runs in however many games. So,
Better rate than Judge.
yeah, so the fact that he's tearing it up like that, like you said, there's not many options in the AL. Sanchez, he's really showing us like he had that great breakout rookie season in limited time, and everybody was super excited for him. Did well the next year, and then last year, I don't know what happened with him. I really feel like it was almost him just being lazy in a way. He's had a really terrible season. Defense was terrible. I think he led the league in pass balls.
Yeah.
He just
hit
190.
It's
just weird. It was weird, but he's really coming back to who he is, and I think he's totally deserving. He's one of the best players in the AL right now.
So, catcher in the NL, I'm going to go against the hot bat in Grandal, and I'm going to take Contreras. I'm doing this because Grandal has shown in the past he'll have those streaks. He'll have those hot streaks. He'll hit, like with the Dodgers. But Contreras has been there all year. There's a time he's slowing down a little bit, not getting everyday catcher with Pavetta, not with the backup catcher for the Cubs. Contreras, his average has gone down to 277, and he's got 13 home runs. But obviously, Grandal's power has gone up in the last few weeks. So Contreras, I'm going to stick with him based on he's done it for a longer period, and Grandal he's just been doing it just for the last week and a half.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going with Grandal. I agree with the main argument for me for Grandal is in his stats is he has a 380 on base percentage and an OPS over 935. For a catcher, let's just start off by saying for a catcher that is insane. For the catchers besides Sanchez, they don't put up those kind of stats. Now Contreras has very similar on base percentage and OPS, so I'm giving him credit there. The thing is, with Grandal, that kind of pushes it over for the edge for me, and I know he's been hot recently, is the fact that he has a higher slugging percentage and average and home runs. And I believe Contreras has been injured, right?
He's been subbed in and out of the lineup. Yu Darvish likes to have Partini behind the plate.
Okay.
Every fifth day he'll get a rest. But lately I have no clue what's going on. He's getting subbed out every 2 or 3 days. So that's really alarming. But if the vote is today, I'm taking Contreras.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty close right now. Like I said, their on base percentage and OPS are similar. They're both really good defenders. I know Grandal got ridiculed in the playoffs last year, but he's a great defender in general. He had just one really bad stretch in that NLCS, but no, I think we'll have to see a little as it gets closer to the All-Star game who really breaks through between those two.
All right, now fun out. So everyone who doesn't know, we picked 3 outfield spots for the All-Star game for starting, 3 AL, 3 NL. So AL, I'll start off with, if you don't have him on your team, you probably should just close out the video. It's Mike Trout, the best player. Yeah. Is there a problem with that? Best player?
No problems. He's one of the best players of all time.
There we go.
That's a statement. I'd say he's top 5 all time right now, but we can continue.
All right, so Trout this year, I don't even have to read off that dude.
No, we don't. We really don't.
I feel like for the sake of time, Trout, number 1 outfielder. So, yep. And then we'll go NL now. For the guy who can be said to be playing better than Trout this year is Christian Yelich.
Yep.
Christian Yelich, 25 home runs, really good average, around 320. And
it's actually gone up to over like 345 right now.
45? See, he's not getting worse right now. At the beginning of the season, you're seeing all these home runs. He's been injured too and still leading the MLB in home runs.
He's insane.
You're expecting him to regress, and just it's not happening. You look on SportsCenter, Christian Yelich, another home run, another 2 home run night. It's really crazy. So yeah, it's my first NL vote.
And I think another person in the NL that we can kind of lock in. We locked in Trout and Yelich. I think we can also lock in Cody Bellinger. Has arguably been the hottest name in baseball this year. I mean, he started off insanely hot. He's kind of cooled down a bit as of late, but
though he's hitting 375 before then.
Yeah, he's hitting still over 350. I think a lot of that can be attributed to him shortening up his swing. Because he's already got a big swing. He starts up tall. He's really tall. Starts up tall, pretty much standing up, and then drops down. But he shortened up his swing this offseason, and it's really just taken him back to that rookie year level. Do you have any disagreements with us kind of locking in Belic? He's been or
You can
Belic.
lock 3 in. I think
Bellinger.
the rest of the 3 is where I think some debate can happen, especially that third NL spot.
Yeah, you want to finish? Let's finish off the NL.
So I'm going a little underdog guy right here. He's been injured this year and still has put up solid numbers. It's Charlie Blackmon.
All right.
I understand the Coors Field reference of he just gets those singles go to doubles, those doubles go to home runs. This dude has just been doing it every year. I feel like if you throw him on the Royals, that dude's going to be good. You throw that dude on the Tigers, he's going to be good. He's just a baller, and he's above 300 like he always is. 12 homers, 37 RBI. And him, Trevor Story, that power inside the lineup. And if Blackman's has been played more, his stats would have been even better. So that's where I see those Acuna, Azuna, McNeil. He's been hitting for average, and Soto. But I feel like Blackman, if it were for the sake of time, would have better stats than all of them.
All right. There's definitely a case for Blackman and those other guys, like you said. I'm going with Acuna, just because, I mean, he has been very hot of late, but he is having a really good season as far as. I believe he has 15 home runs right now. It's a little bit more than Blackman. He's really, along with Freddie Freeman, he's just picked up from last year, but he's really carrying that lineup. People like Donaldson, who we expected to do well, have struggled really mightily. Albies has been a bit underwhelming this season, so I think just the fact that Acuna has been so consistent with last year, and I know we can't always use the Coors Field argument, but I do believe that Coors Field does have a big effect on Blackman because he, last year, all right, he had the amazing MVP 2017 season. He did actually have a down year for Charlie Blackman. He still had a really good season last year, but it was a down year compared to what he regularly does. So I think he's definitely bouncing back this year, but he does have, I believe, a few less RBIs and home runs than Acuna. And Acuna, he brings that excitement factor. So that's why I put him there.
But I see the difference between Acuna and Blackman is the OPS. It's 100-point difference, and I feel like OPS is a big factor. I think it's more than RBIs, more than average. I feel like that is a big determining factor in selecting your all-stars, your stars in the game. So Blackman with a 940 OPS, which is the league average is around 740.
Yeah.
Acuna is above average. He's about 840. But Blackman, that 940 OPS, that just catches my eye.
The way I described this the other day between Blackman and Acuna is that Acuna may have a lower OPS, but I'm not, I don't have any statistical like written in stone evidence for this, but the fact that Blackman's playing in Coors Field makes me believe that OPS, which is a combination of on-base percentage and slugging, and I believe their on-base percentage is nearly exact. They're around 360 each of them, but the fact that Blackman has a higher slugging percentage, I think, is a result of him playing in Coors where those singles become doubles, doubles become home runs. That's just, I don't have enough hard evidence for that, but I do believe Coors Field has an effect on his slugging percentage. But Blackman's a great player. Acuna's a great player. It's 50-50. We'll have to see.
All right. So let's go AL. So my second spot for AL, I'm going to put George Springer.
Yeah, me too.
So George Springer, he was the MVP in the AL. 17 home runs. That was before any AL player got there, before Sanchez, before anyone. And if he were to stay healthy, he's been gone how much? Month and a half, or
a little bit less. He's been out for a little bit less,
but Springer, he'd be around where, in my opinion, he'd be around where which is 20, 23, 24.
I agree.
24 home runs. Where is he? Around 300. And his RBIs are going to be there with Altuve, Correa, Bregman in that lineup.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though he's missed that time, there's not that one guy you could put over him besides Trout.
Yeah, and then Springer as well. And then I guess I don't really need to justify it in any way. You kind of said everything we need to say for Springer. And then my other outfielder for the AL has been somebody who's surprised everybody, even as Austin Meadows.
Pirates are about this.
Pirates are hating themselves right now. They traded Chris Archer for Tyler Glasnow, who was going to be the Cy Young. You can't say that, but he was having an amazing season. He was 6-0, I believe, with an ERA under 2 until he got injured with that forearm tightness, I believe. That's what it was. But
different video, we'll talk about pictures and everything.
Yeah, but They made the trade for Chris Archer to the Pirates for Glass now and Austin Meadows, and that's just biting them right now. Chris Archer's been terrible, absolutely terrible. ERA over 5, and Meadows. I already talked about Glass now. Meadows has been killing it, average far over 300. He's provided power at the plate for the Rays. Like I know we said, RBIs can't be the total main factor in deciding something, but he's had a lot of RBIs in that lineup. He's really become the guy in that lineup for the Rays, and he was even out for a bit, and I think that might have hurt his chances for the All-Star game when he was out for a little bit. But he's picked up right where he left off, and I think he's really keeping those Rays relevant in the AL East with the Yankees and Red Sox.
All right, so the last spot, there obviously isn't going to be one for the NL. The pitcher slot is the designated hitter. So who do you have for your DH, Ben?
I have Hunter Pence. Now, a couple days ago when I was filling this out by myself, I put JD Martinez, and I kind of did overlook Pence because before the season had started, when he left the Giants, I really thought his career was over. He wasn't the same player as he used to be, and now he comes to the Rangers and is putting up great numbers. So yeah, originally I had put JD Martinez a couple days ago, but after re-looking at it, I'm gonna go with Hunter Pence. He has, I believe, 14 home runs. He has an OPS either around 900 or a bit above it. I just think he deserves it. He definitely deserves it. It's been a really surprise season. He's helped the Rangers kind of be above 500 right now, which is another thing that kind of surprises me. What about you?
I feel like he's provided that spark plug that Nomar Mazara was supposed to be. So when he came from that Giants, I agree. I thought his career was done. Just gonna be a bat that's gonna bat 260, get you maybe 20 home runs.
Yeah, and he's from Texas, right? So I was just thinking, okay, he's going to play for his hometown team one last. No, but he's been great. Yeah.
Him, Andrews, and Gallo have held that lineup up.
Yeah.
They're not the best team with Leclerc issues in the bullpen. That bullpen's a mess. Sean Kelly, but Hunter Pence has just been raking. He's bringing in a ton of runs. Like he's hitting triples the other night. It's 280 average. It's a sight to be seen. He's been really good.
Yep. So I think that rounds it off for the players. As far as the video, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. It would be fun to interact with you guys. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if we're right. Tell us anything. We just like talk baseball. As you can see, we've been going on for a while now just talking. But no, so like I said at the beginning of the video, I think we'll have a few more videos because we have a long time before the All-Star game still. It's closing in, but we still have a little while, and a lot can change in between then. So I think it'll be fun to post this, which the day we're recording this, it'll be tomorrow when it'll go up. But you guys will see it on Friday, which is tomorrow. And so it'll be fun to go back once the All-Star game hits and see what we had predicted now and what the actual rosters are. And maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong.
Do one before too, maybe a day.
Yeah, we'll do another one. But yeah, so have we covered everything, Brody? I think we got everything.
So Hot Corner Baseball, peace.
Peace.